morning, class.
Good morning, teacher.
Remain standing. May I ask anyone from this class to lead the prayer? Okay, Miss Reyes, you proceed.
Lord, thank you for this opportunity to learn. Please guide us and our teacher. That's all we pray. Amen.
Yan. Thank you, Miss Reyes. You can take your seat. Okay, for today's lesson, we're going to tackle all about ball sports. So for the last meeting, we tackled volleyball. And for this meeting, we're going to tackle basketball. So for all you know, our subject is all about physical education, or it has something to do with our physical appearance in improving our physical ability. So before we begin to the main purpose of this lesson, I prepared here some words wherein it's shuffled for you to fix it. So these are the activities. So may I ask from this group, may I ask from this class who can fix this word? Anybody? You can raise your hands if you don't answer. Okay, Miss Reyes.
Basketball.
Very good. Okay, for the next word. Okay, Miss Alcantara.
Dribbling.
Very good. Okay, for the last word, who knows the answer? If you know the answer, raise your hand. Okay, Miss Reyes.
Shoot.
Yan, very good. So the three words here in front is, once again, shout, read.
Basketball. Dribbling. Shoot.
Very good. So that's the three word: basketball, dribbling, and shoot. So let's proceed to our discussion. First, so earlier I passed the PowerPoint presentation in your phones. So you have your copy. For the sake of yourself to have the copy of our lesson and to have your own insight. Right? Am I right?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Okay, for the first part of this lesson, I am going to tackle the history of basketball. So, do you all know what is basketball? Anyone? Say yes if you know what is basketball. Yeah, basketball is a sport. So we are seeing this sport everywhere. In every barangay there is a field wherein basketball is being played. Right? So for this lesson, we're going to tackle the history. Babalik tayo sa nakaraan. Okay. First, let us know who invented basketball. Basketball was invented by James Naismith. Do you know James Naismith? Of course not. You don't know him. So, let me explain or let me elaborate who he is. So, James Naismith is a 31 years old graduate student. After graduating from Presbyterian College in Montreal with a theology degree. And where it is invented, where basketball is invented. So I mentioned earlier that I passed the PPT to you so you know what is on my copy. So may I ask anyone to read where it is invented? Okay, Miss Reyes, stand up.
Basketball is built into the fabric of Springfield College in 1891, has grown into the worldwide athletic phenomenon we know it to be today.
Oh, yan. Very good, Miss Reyes. So, sabi nga dito, basketball is built into a fabric Springfield College in 1891. So, sinabi dito kung kailan siya at kung saan siya nagawa or ma-publish or na-invent. So, in Springfield College in the year 1891. Okay, next. Why basketball is invented? Do you have any insight about that? Okay, let me read the paragraph first. So, basketball came about because a doctor and physical educator teacher, which is Naismith, Dr. Naismith, wanted a sport that his student could play, where the game would help players work on the hand-eye coordination, jumping, running, shooting, and ball handling. Yan. So basketball is a coordination of those skills, wherein jumping, running, shooting, and ball handling, but not a long player contact. walang contact between the players. His hopes were fulfilled with basketball. The game was not changed much over the years, but its ball has seen quite a few development. So sabi nga dito, yung basketball, larong basketball from the day or from the year it is invented, walang gaanong changes kumpara sa ngayon over the years. Pagdaan ng taon, hindi nagbago ang basketball ng sobrang nagbago. It's just a quite little. So, but the ball used in basketball has changed a lot. It has its development. So, do you all know what is the first ball used in basketball?
Soccer ball.
Stand up, miss. You're saying something?
Soccer ball.
Very good. The first ball used in basketball is a soccer ball. Okay, we know the ball used in basketball. So let's move on to the basket used in the basketball or wherein a ball is being shot. Yan. So, do you have any idea what basket used in basketball at that time it is invented? Okay, no. So, it is a half basal pitch basket hung on opposite ends of the gym. So when we say pitch, it is a fruits, meaning the first basket used in basketball is a fruits basket. Okay. Once again, the first ball used is a soccer ball and the shooting basket used is a fruit basket. Okay, let's move on to the next lesson. Our next topic of this lesson, it is the equipment in basketball. So before we enumerate the different types of equipment, let us first identify or define what is an equipment in basketball. Okay, Miss Reyes, kindly read.
Basketball can played with very little equipment. That is why it has become one of the most popular sports worldwide. Although the strongest and best known league in the United States.
Okay, that's all. Okay. So, dun sa binasa ni Miss Reyes, ang basketball daw ay meron lamang kunting equipment na pwede mo itong laruin sa kahit meron ka lang bola or things na pwede mong pagsyutan. Yan. And dahil din doon, ito ay tinawag or naging isang popular na o nakakilalang sport in the worldwide. Okay, sa pangbuong mundo. And we all know that the strongest lead is in the United States, right? Which, ano yon? Alam nyo ba, magbigay kayo ng team na nasa United States. Chicago Bulls, Lakers. So, that's an example of a league in a basketball or a team. Okay, next. Basketball is a popular sport in every continent. Yan. Hindi lang sa United States ito popular sa bawat kontinente rin ng mundo. And it is still growing. From the day it is invented until now, it has a huge development. Basketball can be played outdoors, on asphalt and dirt, or indoors, on wooden floors. If you're getting ready to play a pickup game, here is a list of equipment you'll need to bring. So, ito na yung mga equipment na kailangan nyo. Okay, first, lead. Backboard.
The ball.
The ball.
The hoop.
The hoop.
Jersey.
Shoes.
Shot clock.
Okay, shot clock. Let's enumerate those equipment. So, backboard, ito yung this is where the ring is intact. Alam niyo yun, yung, kunyari, this is the backboard. Ito yung backboard, nandito yung ring. Yung ring, this is the ring wherein the ball is being shoot or the basket, and this is the backboard. Gets? Okay, next, the ball. Yan. The ball, alam nyo na yan yung ball ang ginagamit sa basketball. That's why basketball is called the ball sport because it is used by a ball. Yes, very good. The hoop. Who knows the hoop? Yan. Hoop, this is where what the basket used. This is where the ball is being shoot. Okay. Jersey. Yan. Jersey is just is a t-shirt used by a team. Jersey is not really a necessary equipment for the players to use. It is just used for a barangay league Yan, Barangay League, National League, International League, like FIBA World Cup. And jersey shirt was used just to identify where the player belonged to. Yes, jersey is just serve as an identification of a player or a team. Next is the shoes. To be more specific, basketball shoes. Why basketball shoes? Bakit sila nagsusot ng shoes? Emmy.
Para hindi kasi yung tampakan.
Yeah, that's one example why they are wearing shoes para hindi masaktan yung kanilang talampakan. Okay, next. Next, the shot clocks. Alam niyo ba kung anong shot clocks?
Yung oras.
Yan. Shot clocks from the word itself, clocks. It is where that time is eta, kung nasaan yung oras ng laro. Every game in the basketball has its time, has its necessary time. So, shot clocks, hindi lang dito makikita yung oras, nandito din nakalagay yung scores. Okay, nandiyan nakalagay yung scores. So, next, we have whistle. So, sino gumagamit ng whistle?
Referee.
Very good, the referee. Bakit? Para saan?
Para pantawag kung may naka-traveling.
And very good. They're using whistle or the referee using the whistle just to call if anyone is committed foul or mistakes or violence like that. Just to remind the player that he or she did wrong. Okay. So we also have the equipment in basketball that is not really necessary. Okay, first, the rings and the rims. Second, the basketball socks. Third, the basketball shooting sleeve. Next is the basketball towel. Yan, pagpunas ng pawis because we all know that basketball is a very tiring sport. Siyempre, pagpapawisan ka. And the next is lastly is the headband. Yan, headband. Headband is not necessary. It is just used for those who have long hair. Yan, para hindi makapagsagabal yung kanilang buhok. Okay, after the equipment used, let's move on to the next part of this lesson. Let's discuss about rules in basketball. So, do you know any rules in basketball? Do you know it? Raise your hand if you know anything about the rules in basketball. Okay, I guess nothing. So, I have here the picture of the first draft of the rules of basketball by Dr. Naismith. Once again, who is Naismith? Very good. Naismith is the one who invented basketball. Okay. In his original rules, he written 13 rules. Yan, 13 rules. Merong 13 na rules siyang isinulat. Okay, first, rules in basketball. You may please read the rules of basketball.
The rules of basketball are the rules and regulations that govern the play, officiating, equipment, and procedures of basketball.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, it is what the rules in basketball means is. The rule of basketball are the rules and regulation, meaning when we say rules and regulation, it is what must to be followed in order to play basketball. The regulation that govern the play. Officiating, equipment, and procedures of basketball. Everything of that must depend on the rules of basketball. Okay, next. On January 15.
1892, James Naismith published his rules for the game of basketball that he invented. The original game played under these rules was quite different from the one played today, as there was no dribbling, dunking, three-pointers or shot clock, and goaltending was legal.
Okay. Yan. Sinabi nga dito, on the date January 15, 1892, James Smith published his rules for the games of basketball. So, of course, he invented basketball he must make a rules for the game that for the sport that he invented. The original game played under these rules was quite different from the one played today. Yan. Yung larong basketball dati when it is first invented is lot different from today's basketball. Okay, kasi dati daw, sabi dito, dati walang dribbling, wala yung mga violence like violates na dribbling, dunking, three-pointers, or shot clock. And goaltending was legal. Okay. Gets nyo? Okay. Okay, next. Let's proceed to the next rules in basketball. Okay, read. Mr. Reyes, JB.
Yung
The ball may be thrown.
the ball may be thrown in any direction with one or both hands.
Okay. In the previous rules, which is, it is an original rules used in basketball, wherein you can throw a ball in any direction using one hand or both hands. Right? Until now, it is used. You can throw ball using your one hand or both hand, right? Okay. The difference is, you can, if you hold the ball with single hand, you can still dribble it. But you hold it with two hands, you cannot dribble it, and you should pass it to your teammates to avoid violations. Okay, next. I'll read the next one. The ball may be bat in any direction with one or both hands. Okay, meaning it has something to do with the first rules, the previous rules before this. Yan, meron siyang parang connection, pareho lang sila. The ball may be bat in any direction with one or both hands, so pareho lang sila. Oh, wait, let's proceed to the next. The player cannot run with the ball. The player must throw it from the spot on which he catches it. Allowance to be made for a man who catches the ball when running at a good speed if he tries stop. Meaning, yung players, kapag nakuha nyo na yung ball, hindi siya allowed tumakbo gamit yung ball. Ito yung dating rules. Kapag nasa kanya yung bola, hindi siya pwedeng tumakbo. Kailangan niyang ipasa na yun mismo dun sa kasama niya. Yan, the player must throw it from the spot on which he catches it. Kung saan niya nasalo yung bola, kailangan ipasa niya yung bola sa kasama niya on where he is, kung nasaan siya. Ano? Okay, next. Next rule. Okay, read, Miss Reyes.
The ball must be held in or between the hands. The arms or body must not be used for holding.
Yan. Sabi nga, di ba? The ball must be held in or between hands. Kailangan yung hawakan yung bola in between or in the hands. The arms or body must not be used for holding it. Ito lang dapat ang gagamitin. From your wrist to this, hang pataas. Hindi mo pwedeng gamitin panghawak yung iyong arm, this part, or your body. That is a kind of violation back then. Yan. Next, I'll read the next one. Okay, for the rules in basketball that is used when it is invented until now. No shouldering, holding, striking, pushing, or tripping in any way of an opponent. Yan. Meaning, it is prohibited to use your shoulder to hurt and hold your opponent, strike, yan. Bawal manakit. Pushing, bawal itulak yung iyong mga opponent or yung mga kalaban mo, or tripping in any way of an opponent. Bawal saktan yung opponent because it is a kind of violation. The first infringement of this rule by any person shall count as foul. So pag ginawa mo yung mga violation na yun or yung mga prohibition na yung mga bawal na yun, that might be called as foul. That is the first attempt. So the second shall disqualify him. I-disqualify na siya in his or her second attempt of that kind of prohibition pag ginawa niya yung mga pananakit na yun sa kanyang kalaban. So next, Mr. Reyes, read the next rules. The the foul? Ay, a foul?
A foul is striking at the ball with the first. Violation of the Rule 3 and 4 and such described in Rule 5.
Yan. A foul is striking at the ball with the fist. So, it has something to do with the violation rules in number 3 and number 4, such as described in Rule 5. Okay, next. Okay, for the next rules, ito siya. If either side makes 3 consecutive fouls, it shall count a goal for the opponents. Yan. Sabi nga kanina dun sa yung sa mga prohibition like shouldering, kapag nagawa yun ng tatlon, if your team committed that prohibition 3 times, there will be a score for the opponent. Magkakaroon sila ng score. Consecutive means without opponent in the meantime making a foul. Pag sinabing consecutive, kunyari, okay, example, your team, Mr. JB, your team was committed a foul, you shoulder, you push, and other prohibition ng tuloy-tuloy without the other team committed any of the ones, it means you are violated. Meaning, yung kalaban nyo magkakaroon ng 1 point. Okay, next rules. A goal shall be made when the ball is thrown or bat from the grounds into a basket and stays there. Yan. Sabi dito, goal shall be made when the ball is thrown. Yung pag-goal, dapat daw, mag-goal ka lang pag yung ball mo is naihagis mo, it will be counted kapag hindi counted sa mga kalaban nyo. But from the ground into a basket and stays there. So, yung pag nyo yung ball, kunyari, nasa ground na yung ball, and if you still bat it, and yung goal, na i-goal nyo sa basket, it is not counted, meaning, hindi siya bilang sa score. Okay, next, read. When the ball goes.
When the ball goes out of bounds, it shall be thrown into the field of play and played by the person touching it. In case of dispute, the umpire shall throw it straight into the field. The thrower is allowed 5 seconds. If he holds it longer, it shall go to the opponent. If any side persists in delaying the game, the umpire shall call a foul on that side.
Sabi nga sa next rule, sabi dito, when the ball goes out of bounds, it shall be thrown into the field of play and played by the first person touching it. So, when the ball goes out of bounds, pag hindi na siya tumatalbog, the ball, it shall be thrown into the field. Kailangan daw yung bola may ihagis dun sa playing field, dun sa mismong play field. And the first person or the first player touch it has the opportunity to play the ball. Para sa kanya na yung bola. Pwede niya na yung gamitin to goal. Okay, next. Next. The umpire shall be the judge of the men and shall note the fouls and notify the referee when 3 consecutive fouls have been made. So, sabi dito, the umpire shall be the judge. So, yung judge nila dito is natawag nilang umpire of the men. Sila yung judge ng mga players, the men. Yung men refers to the players and shall note the fouls and notify the referee when 3 consecutive fouls have been made. So, yung umpire sila yung maglilista, sila yung tumitingin kung ilang fouls na yung nakakommit ng players ng team. Kapag naka 3 consecutive fouls na sila na nagawa, he shall have power to disqualify people according to rule number 5. So sabi dito, kapag yung umpire, kapag sinabi na nung umpire sa referee na naka-commit sila ng 3 consecutive mistake, at that time, yung referee meron na siyang kakayahan na i-disqualify yung team or yung player. Okay, next. The referee shall be judge of the ball and shall decide when the ball is in play. So in that case, the hand will be on the referee. Sila yung magde-decide kung ang play yung games is mag-i-start na. To which side it belongs. Sila yan, kung referee will decide kung kaninong size mag-uumpisa yung bola or kanino yung bola maipupunta. Okay, next. The time shall be 2 15-minute halves with 5 minutes rest between. So, sabi ko nga kanina, ang basketball, paglalaro ng basketball ay merong oras. And that oras is indicated on the shot clocks. Yan. So, there are 2 15-minute halves with 5 minutes rest between. So, meron siyang pahingang 5 minutes. Next, the side making the most points in that time is declared the winner. At that time, during the game, kung sino yung may pinakamataas na score. So, alam natin, kung sino yung pinakamataas na score, siya yung panalo. Okay, next. Next, so that is all for the 13 rules in basketball. So, for the next part, we're going to tackle the violations in basketball. So, do you know any violation that is in basketball? Violation in basketball? Do you know any? Okay, Mr. Reyes, what violations do you know in basketball? Okay, like foul. Anything? Yeah, traveling. Very good. Okay, next. Before we enumerate the different types or kinds of violation in basketball, let us first define what is violation in basketball. Okay, read a violation.
A violation in basketball is called on any player who breaks or violates a rule of the game defined in the league rule book.
Ayan. Yung violation in a basketball daw ay tinatawag na tawag sa mga player na may nag-commit sa mga prohibition in a rules. Yung mga rules na binanggit natin kanina, if that rules has been not followed, hindi sinunod yung mga rules na yon, this violation will be applied to them. Depends on the certain rules that they are committed. They have been committed. Next, unlike fouls, violations do not result in free throws for the opposing team. Violations are typically called for minor infractions, while fouls are reserved for more egregious errors. So, kapag naglalaro ng basketball, mayroon tayong tinatawag na fouls, wherein kapag hawak mo yung bola, you have the right, kapag nasaktan ka niya, you have the right to shout foul. And if you shout foul, when you're holding the ball and you shout foul, and the opponent is touching you, you will have your opportunity to have free throws. You know what is free throws? This is the ring, and this is you. You can shoot the ball to the ring without the opponent against you. They are not like that. They're not going to attack you. Yan, di ka nila aatakihin because you have the right, you have the free throws from the word itself, free. Right? Okay, next. Violations are also mostly obvious and inarguable. Yan. Ang violation daw, obvious na siya. And hindi na siya dapat pagtaluhan. Yan. Kasi, violation are always depend on the rules. Kapag yung rules, rule number 5, if you shoulder your opponent, push your opponent, you will be violate as foul. Right? You will be violate as foul and your opponent will have a chance to have a free throws. Okay, next. What are the different violation in basketball? So, ito na. So ito na yung mga different violation in basketball. And to be more clear, there are 20 distinct violation in basketball depending on how you divide them up. Here are different kind of violation. Okay, Miss Reyes, read the first one.
Out of bounds. Being the last player to touch the ball before it goes out of bounds.
Yan. Out of bounds. Out of bounds, it is where you holding the ball and when it is come outside. Kapag yung hinawakan yung bola, tapos bigla itong natapik ng kalaban and lumabas ito sa ring, ay lumabas ito sa field ng pinaglalaruan nyo, that is what we call out of bounds. Yan. Sabi nga, di ba, the last player to touch the ball before it goes out of bounds. Yung lalaki, yung tao, or yung player na huling humawak ng bola bago lumabas yung bola sa field. Lumabas outside. O next, Mr. Reyes. Read the second.
Double dribble. Dribble the ball before picking it up and dribbling again.
So, tara. Double dribble is a dribbling the ball before picking it up and dribbling again. Double dribble means, yan, from the word itself, double dribble. Dinribble mo yung ball 2 times without picking it up. Tapos, dinribble mo ulit. That is what we call double dribble. Okay, next. Carry. Okay, I'll read the third violation. Okay, the third violation is carry. Carry is a scooping the ball to carry it from dribbling. Meaning when we say carrying the ball, it is when you dribbling and when you scoop the ball like this. Okay. So when you're dribbling the ball, it is called carry. When you are dribbling and then suddenly you scoop the ball like this, you hold the ball from its lower part and that is called carrying. Yan. Okay, next let's go to the fourth violations in basketball. Okay, read it, Mr. Reyes. 5-second violations.
5-second violation. Failure to inbound the ball 5 seconds after receiving it.
Okay. When we say 5-second violation, it is when failure to inbound the ball 5 seconds after receiving it. It is when you fail to dribble the ball after you received it. Meaning if it will be count by 5 seconds, and if you miss that 5 seconds and never been a ball touch the floor, it is called a violation. That is a 5-second violations. Okay, next. Illegal throw-in. Okay, Miss Reyes.
Stepping over the line while throwing in the ball, moving before throwing it in, or throwing it out of bounds.
Okay, when we say illegal throw it is when a ball is thrown from the outside part of the field. Yan. Okay, next. Kickball.
Kicking ball. Kicking the ball intentionally or unintentionally.
So, yan. Kickball, from the word itself, kick. Yan. Kicking the ball is prohibited from this sport because basketball is used with the hand, and when you kick the ball, it is called a violation. Whether you intentionally kicked it or unintentionally, that will be called as a violation. Okay, next. Striking the ball with a fist. That is also a violation. When you strike the ball with your fist, it's either intentionally or unintentionally. Okay, next. Goaltending. Miss Reyes.
Interfering with a shot when it is on a downward arc into the basket.
Yan. Goaltending is interfering with the shot when it is on a downward arc in the basket. Yan. Okay, let's move on to the next violation. Jump ball violations.
Jump ball violation. An infraction before the ball is tripped.
Yan. An infraction before the ball is tipped. Yan. Pag yung bola tumalbog and the ball touch the floor and you will going in fraction before the ball is tipped, it is called a jump violation. Okay, next. Offensive 3 seconds. Staying in the key of 3 seconds or more while on offense. Yan. Staying in the key for 3 seconds. Meaning when you are offensive 3 seconds in this violation, if you stay in the key for at least 3 seconds or more while on offense. Offense means you are going to offense your opponent in order to make a goal. Or next, defensive 3 seconds. A defensive player staying in the lane for longer than 3 seconds without guarding anyone. Yan. Defensive 3 seconds, it is in opposite of the first one, which is the offensive 3 seconds. Like, offensive, defensive. It's just the opposite. When we say defensive 3 seconds naman, it is when a player is on the lane for longer than 3 seconds nang walang ginagwardyahan. So, dapat, in this sport, you should be attentive. Kailangan meron kang part lagi, hindi yung pwede na doon ka lang sa gilid patayo-tayo. Kasi you are a player, not a cheerer. Right? You're not just a viewer. Ikaw yung player na naglalaro dapat sa field, hindi dapat ikaw yung patayo-tayo lang doon. Okay, next is 8-second violation. Okay, Miss Reyes.
The offense fails to cross half court 8 seconds after inbounding the ball.
Yan. Okay, next. Over and back violation. Read, Mr. Reyes.
Over and back violation. The offense returning the ball from the court to the back court without the other team touching it.
Yan. Over and back violation, it is when the offense turning the ball from the front court to the back court without the other team touching it. So that is called violation. When the ball is on a red team, and if the player in red team drive or throw the ball to other court, and that is called violation. You are throwing the ball from front court to back court. Gets? Okay, thank you. Swinging of elbows. Yan. When we say swinging of elbows, it is one of the violation. Siyempre, swinging of elbows may injure or may hurt anybody. Either your opponents or your teammates. That is called a violations already. Entering basket from below. Yan. Okay, read.
A ball that goes through the net before the rim.
Yan. Entering basket below, it is wherein when the ball, okay, let's say for example, it is the basket. Yan. It is the basket, this is the shooting above. And when it is the net, and it is called a violation for entering basket below if the ball goes through the down to the top. Get?
Yes.
Okay, next. Illegal assist. Okay, I'll read the illegal assist. Grabbing the rim, net, or backboard to give yourself an advantage. So, that is an illegal assist. Gets nyo? When we say illegal assist, it is when you grab the rim of the net, and the backboard just to give yourself an advantage. That is already a violation because it is an illegal assist. Okay, next. Traveling. So, traveling, gaya ng sinabi ni Mr. Reyes kanina, traveling is taking more than 2 steps without dribbling the ball. Yan! Alam niyo ba yan? Traveling, meaning, this is the ball, you hold the ball, and then you step your foot more than 2, it means traveling. And that is already called a violation in basketball. Next is illegal screen. Yan. Illegal screen is the screen set out bounds. Yan. Illegal screen is when you are screening is when you are going to harangan. Haharangan mo yung opponent mo just to intercourse para hindi siya makapunta sa ring para to make a goal. Okay, next. Leaving the court. Leaving the court is a violation. Lalo na kapag hindi pa tapos, lalo pag hindi pa tapos yung laro, aalis ka na agad dun sa court, hindi pa tapos yung laro, and that is already called a violation. Wherein, it is a rule in basketball that no leaving the court until the sport or the game was finished. Okay, next. Held ball violation. Offense holds the ball without doing anything for 5 seconds. Yan. From the word itself, held. Ball violation. Held means carrying the ball while doing nothing. And that is already offense holds. Offense holds the ball without doing anything for 5 seconds. When you hold the ball with 5 seconds and you didn't do anything, just to dribble it or pass it to your teammates, that is already a violation. Next, shot clock violation. Failure to get a shot off before the shot clock expire. Yan. Common sense. Kailangan ma-shoot natin yung bola bago or ma-release sa kamay natin yung bola bago matapos yung oras. Meaning, kapag nirelease mo yung bola sa iyong kamay while the time is already still 3 seconds, when you release the ball from your hands and there is no time left, you will get violation, which is shot clock violation. Your score, if your ball is shoot, that will never be counted. That is all for the violations of the basketball sport. Yan. Okay, for the next sport, for the next lesson or for the next topic, for the next thing we do, for the next meeting, I want you to bring your PE uniform or any clothes that you are comfortable with playing basketball. Yan. The scoring will be discussed on the next meeting. And for today's, that is all for the lesson about basketball. And your assignment is to research and be ready about the sport we called football. Yan, football. Search everything about football, the equipment, the rules, the violations, the history of football, for you to be ready for the next meeting. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay? Everyone, before we leave, may I ask for your attendance first? May I ask for your attendance first, so be attentive. If I call your name, say present. John Eric Reyes?
Yes.
Okay, then, very good. Jessica Reyes?
Present.
Very good. Okay, so that's all for you. That's all for today. We are done for this lesson, and I hope you've learned anything, even though you are not focusing in this lesson. So I still appreciate your accommodation to me and to the discussion these days, and I hope you've learned anything else. Okay, this is the end for this lesson. I hope you will carry all that knowledge I give to you, I delivered, I discussed, for you to be more good in playing basketball. Okay? Stand up, everybody. Stand up. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay. You may leave this